Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the channel. Today we're reviewing the USS Smith, the new premium Tier 2 US destroyer. So, kicking off with the stats, it has 7,300 hit points, which is not a whole lot. But the real draw on this is the artillery. The artillery is a reload time of 3.1 seconds. It has a decent turn time. The HE and AP shells do the exact same amount of damage. One thing to note is it only has a 4% chance to fire, so even with Demolition Expert on your captain traits, it's really not going to help you a whole heck of a lot. They are kind of high floaty shells, as is typical with the US destroyers, so if you're familiar with any of the US destroyer line, or say the Cleveland or the Atlanta, you're going to be right at home with the guns on this ship. The guns are surprisingly very powerful. Moving on to the torpedo systems, the torpedoes in this is very unique. There's 3 turrets with 1 torpedo each, with a range of 4.5 kilometers, and a reload speed of 11 seconds. It's very, very unique, very interesting, and you'll get to see a lot of that in the gameplay coming up here. A lot of fun. The maneuverability is actually very nice. It has a 2-second rudder shift time. The top speed, though, is only 28 knots, which is actually very low. The detectability is 5.6. Moving on to consumables and modules, you do have the option of using premium. You might want to use premium smoke. It's really up to you. It's a tier 2 premium. How much are you really going to get out of that? Same with premium repair. I mean, if you really have credits to burn, sure, go ahead. Speed boost really isn't going to help you. Modules, you'll really only have one choice, and I recommend the gun module #1, so it just helps your gunboat. There's not much in the way of options on this one. Moving on to captain talents. The first talent I recommend is basic fire training for the extra rate of fire. Your guns are your bread and butter with this ship, not your torpedoes. Next is Last Stand. Last Stand is an absolute must. You must get this. You will be dead in the water. You will be very screwed. Later on, you can get the faster turret traverse, which will help this ship. The turrets aren't necessarily slow, but it will help. Next, I would get Superintendent, just for the extra smoke alone. I spent a lot of time sitting in smoke and torping people and shooting people. Vigilance is also handy later on down the tree when you've got extra points, but I would actually make a beeline to advanced firing training for the additional firing range, because your base is 6.5 kilometers, which is not a whole lot. So overall, the ship is very interesting, especially the torpedo system. So let's head into some gameplay now. So our very first game, we have 0 captain talents on this one. And we're just diving straight into the middle of it. I finally did get detected. I'm firing at this cruiser, helping finish him off. And there he goes. Next, I'm looking for other targets of opportunity. I'm getting the feeling that this is a destroyer killer, as is most gunboats, as far as the destroyers go, both on the US and the Russian side go. I am having a little difficulty, and again, this is the very first game that I played with this, of trying to gauge my shots and how long it takes for my shells to reach the target. I do spot a Mikasa coming in, so I pop smoke and sit in the fire and start raining down fire. Now, it is only a 4% chance to catch things on fire, but either this Mikasa is transporting kindling, or I'm just having very good RNG. I'm going to try out the torpedoes. He is going to be within that 4.5 kilometer range. And there we've got a second fire, and he is burning nicely. And the torpedoes are actually already reloaded. So yeah, the torpedoes reload in 11 seconds. Now you can only fire 2 at a time. There are 3 tubes, 1 on each side and then 1 center lined. But with an 11-second reload, I mean, you can just see I'm just pumping out these torpedoes. It's really different. There's no other ship in the game that actually kind of does this. And you'll see in some other games that I have clips of in this, is that you can kind of do area denial with the torpedo systems in this ship. Mikasa's down. Now I'm looking for other targets. I spot a little destroyer going across from me. He can't see me because I'm still in smoke. And I think I'm getting the feel a little bit for the guns now. And yeah, those are right on target. There, I overshot him just a little bit. Let's make a correction. Torpedoes are up. And I'm starting to get the idea here where every 11 seconds or so, I'm just sliding in a couple random torpedoes in between my gunshots, which is seems to work out really nice. Oh, so there's a nice destroyer kill there. Let's see what else we can do. Smoke is up. I am detected again. And here we have a little Samson coming in. I believe that is the Tier 2 US destroyer. And we're just going to get into a good old-fashioned gun battle with this guy. And yeah, we'll fire the torpedoes off anyhow, just in case. And again, I'm kind of trying to play this idea of squeaking in a couple torpedoes every few salvos. And these guns are doing some work, and I just got detonated. Okay. So, and there's a couple detonations in these clips, and even beyond that, I had another 3 or 4 games that I played this morning where I also got detonated. I don't know if it's just this ship, or maybe they changed the rate of detonation, because I did get it on a couple other ships playing last night, but okay, you know, just move on. It's just free flags. Moving into the second game, I do have a couple talent points down. I do have the basic firing training, so my rate of fire is a little bit up. And here we're getting a little bit better at gauging the shots and hitting a little bit longer range. Now I say long range, and your range on these guns is still only 6.5, at least until you can get advanced firing training at Tier 4. But considering that this is such a low tier ship, that's going to take you a little while to get to that point. This also demonstrates one of the major shortfalls of this ship is it is slow. Its top speed without boost or without flags is 28 knots. And that is not fast at all, especially when you have Russian destroyers going easily over 35 knots. They can just outrun you. Now, this Japanese destroyer absolutely can outrun me, but he keeps turning broadside to torpedo me and not fire his guns back, and there go another set of torpedoes. And the thing is every time he goes broadside, I know that there are incoming torpedoes, and I just change directions. I mean, that's not rocket science, guys. So like, he's been going broadside for a little while, there are probably torpedoes in the water. Hey, guess what? I'm gonna change direction, and I dodged another set. So he's hiding in his smoke. I'm charging in at him, firing torpedoes just to maybe get lucky, and yep, there he is, and still very, very hurt. Missed my first shot. Don't miss the second shot. One more should finish him off. Bam, there he goes. Now he didn't fire his guns. I'm sure there are torpedoes in the... Yep, there are the torpedoes. So just angle out. We've got incoming fire from the other side. Pop my smoke. And we're going to launch a couple torpedoes in there. And the cruiser dies, but there is another destroyer in there. There he is. So we're going to take our shots at him. And he is hightailing it into that cloud of smoke. Those torpedoes are very unlikely to hit him. In fact, I think he's already out of range. But I can lay some damage. Can I finish him before he gets hit? No. So we're going to have to chase into that smoke. So as we're chasing him in, we find one of the other destroyers. We're shooting him, and every time I shoot, I zoom out because I know that that other destroyer is hiding somewhere in there. And I'm spotted. There he is. Line him up. Fire. Dead. I cut engines and pull in slightly because I'm expecting those torpedoes that are just going by me right there. And we're going to help finish off this last destroyer here. Alright, destroyer down. We move back to the middle of the map to help finish off these last two cruisers. We have a St. Louis, which is normally a very, very scary ordeal, but thankfully, because of the arc of the shells, I could shoot over these islands at him and just kind of rain some fire down on him. And the guns, even against the St. Louis, are doing respectable damage. I'm genuinely surprised at how powerful these guns are. They feel like they should be on a tier 4 or 5 ship, honestly, like a tier 4 or 5 cruiser. I believe they're 72 millimeters, which does not sound like a lot, but for some reason they pack a punch. And there we got some great shots over the island to help finish off that cruiser. Third game and final game. We bump into another Smith. Gauging my shots. Yeah, there we go. Now we're on target a little bit. And yeah, we definitely have dialed him in now. I'm just really dumping some damage on him. And he's about to get behind that island. Alright, that's fine. So now I'm going to back up a little bit and start firing random torpedoes into the cloud that he set down for his smoke screen. And every 11 seconds I'm just firing 2 random torpedoes into this cloud. And it's just area denial. It really does bring to mind the idea of torpedo spamming. And see, we did get a random hit on something that was in that cloud. And it looks like it was a cruiser. So they're about to come around the corner, firing off torpedoes because they are within range. I don't see the need to run, so I go ahead and pop smoke. And now I'm just going to sit here and gun them down. And, definitely getting more used to firing these guns. They are accurate, they just are kind of floaty, and you can see it when I'm trying to pick this guy off. He's kind of at a weird angle. I tag him there, he's humping the border, so I missed that shot and miss an easy kill. But the torpedoes didn't miss. Oh, this makes me happy. Here we have a Hashitata. I can't even pronounce that. I believe that's the Japanese tier 1 cruiser. And watch how much damage these guns are doing to him. Basically just took him to half-life, just in those few 4 seconds. So he has gotten around the island, and hey, there's Mr. Smith again. So Mr. Smith, unfortunately for him, is spotted. And I am still in my smoke, so he can't see me. We'll get some more damage on him. But I can already tell that he's pushing around this island, and I'm also looking at the mini-map and see a push coming in from the center. So I'm going to go ahead and start coming out from under cover. There's a cruiser that I was not expecting. We'll fire torpedoes off of him and start opening up the guns. And there's Mr. Smith. Dial him in. Bam. One shot, one kill. Torpedoes are incoming to the cruiser. We'll send a couple more. Get our guns back going again. And no need, because that first set of torpedoes was definitely on target. Took a nice shot from this cruiser here, but let's go ahead and turn around with that 2-second rudder shift time. So it's not fast, but it is maneuverable, which allows you to get your torpedoes on target very easily and very quickly. And if you notice, it has a very wide arc. Very, very nice. And there's my next detonation. So overall, I really like this ship a lot. It's very versatile, it's fun to be in tier 2, and it's fairly cheap. So I hope you guys enjoy the review and have fun out there.